For a long time, I repeated the same habits after eating without realizing the risk I was running. Going to bed right after lunch, smoking a cigarette, or even taking a hot bath seemed like normal things to do, until I discovered that these behaviors increase, and greatly, the risk of stroke, especially after 60. In this video, I share everything I've learned from talking to experts and diving into the latest studies. You'll learn how a simple post-meal habit can put your health at risk, and what you can do, starting today, to protect your brain and your life. If you are over 60 or care for someone who is over 60, this video is a must-watch. Watch until the end. The changes are simple, but the impact can be huge. Few people know, but some common habits that seem harmless, especially those we adopt right after meals, can multiply the risk of a stroke, the dreaded stroke. And the scariest thing is that many of these attitudes are seen as part of the normal routine of those who are over 60, sitting in front of the TV right after eating, lying down for a while just to rest, smoking a cigarette, or even having that extra cup of coffee. All of this, depending on the context, can be like Russian roulette for your brain. What science has discovered in recent years is that the period immediately after meals is one of the most delicate moments for the cardiovascular system, especially in old age. It is as if the body enters a phase of internal redistribution, where each organ begins to demand blood, oxygen, and energy intensely. And if there is an imbalance in this phase, whether due to poor circulation, glucose spikes, or changes in blood pressure, the chances of a serious failure increase considerably. Let's understand this one step at a time. After a meal, especially one rich in fat, salt, or refined carbohydrates, the body enters a state called postprandial. This is when blood is diverted to the digestive system so that the stomach, liver, and intestines can do their work. At this time, blood pressure may temporarily rise, heart rate changes, and there is a tendency to become drowsy. If a person lies down or becomes inactive in this state, they create a dangerous condition. Blood circulates less efficiently through the brain, and that is exactly where the risk lies. A study published in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases followed more than 2,000 people over the age of 60 for a period of 6 years. The research found that individuals who had the habit of lying down after eating were up to 5 times more likely to suffer an ischemic stroke, one caused by obstruction of blood flow to the brain. The risk increased even more in people with a history of hypertension or diabetes. And why does this happen? Because when you lie down right after eating, your digestive system continues to require a large portion of your blood flow, while your brain, in a horizontal position and without movement stimulus, suffers a slight but constant reduction in oxygenation. This can cause micro-injuries over time and, in extreme cases, an acute and fatal event. Another dangerous habit, smoking right after eating. Smoking itself is already a known risk factor for stroke, but when smoking is combined with active digestion, blood vessels contract even more intensely. The blood becomes thicker, cerebral circulation slows down, and the combination is explosive, and it doesn't stop there. Drinking coffee or black tea immediately after a meal, especially if it's in large quantities, can interfere with the absorption of nutrients such as iron and magnesium, which are essential for neurological and circulatory health. In addition, caffeine accelerates the heart rate and, in some people, can cause arrhythmias, another trigger for a possible stroke. And if you usually sit on the couch to just relax, but remain still for more than 30 minutes, know that a sedentary lifestyle after eating is also considered a silent risk factor. This is because it reduces the body's ability to metabolize ingested glucose and lipids, contributing to the formation of plaques in the arteries, exactly what, in a moment of stress or pressure spike, can break loose and cause a fatal obstruction in the brain. What to do then? The secret lies in how you use the first 60 minutes after eating. This time is precious. Ideally, you should keep moving lightly, such as taking a short walk around the house, washing the dishes, organizing something simple, or even talking while walking. These small gestures activate circulation, facilitate digestion, and help maintain stable blood flow to the brain. Furthermore, it is essential to avoid heavy and ultra-processed foods for dinner. They require greater effort from the body and further aggravate the risks if combined with complete rest. A light dinner with cooked vegetables, whole grains, calming teas, and lean proteins can be your greatest shield against vascular problems. And pay attention to sleep. Going to sleep immediately after eating is one of the biggest mistakes made by elderly people. Ideally, you should wait at least an hour and a half before going to bed, so that your body has time to redistribute its functions in a balanced way. Now you might be wondering, but I've always done this, and nothing has ever happened. The issue is not what happens in one day. It is what builds up over the years. A stroke does not give you warning. It comes like a door slamming in the middle of the night, like a silence that collapses. And when it arrives, there may be no going back. In Aora, you'll learn how small changes in habits, which take less than 5 minutes, can dramatically reduce your risk of stroke after meals. Plus, you'll learn how to spot the silent signs that your body may be about to give you a warning. This warning was about the hidden dangers in common post-meal habits. Now it's time to understand what you can do in a practical, simple, and effective way to protect yourself. Because yes, it is possible to drastically reduce the risk of stroke with small actions. Sometimes what saves your life is not an expensive medicine, but a change in behavior that starts at home, in your silent, everyday routine. The first essential action is simple: light, constant, and conscious movement after each meal. This does not mean doing heavy physical exercise, no brisk walking or going to the gym. We are talking about light activity, such as walking slowly indoors, hanging out laundry, watering plants, or even dancing a little to soft music. Studies published in the journal Circulation show that people over 60 who maintain light activity for at least 15 minutes after lunch or dinner reduce their risk of stroke and heart disease by more than 30%. The second point is to control the time spent inactive after eating. That old habit of sitting on the couch and watching TV for hours may seem harmless, but the body understands it as a state of total rest. The metabolism slows down, circulation is compromised, and insulin levels soar. The ideal is to set an alarm clock or a reminder on your cell phone. 30 minutes after eating, get up, take a walk around the house, move around. Another common mistake is the continued use of relaxing or sleep-inducing medications right after meals, especially without medical supervision. Many elderly people use medications to sleep or calm the central nervous system after dinner, which, combined with the digestive effort, causes depression of the circulatory and respiratory systems. Ideally, there should be at least an hour between dinner and taking these medications, always with medical supervision. But what about sleeping after lunch? Is it okay or not? The so-called nap can indeed be beneficial, as long as it is done correctly. Longevity experts explain that napping for 20 to 30 minutes in a semi-reclined position, with the head elevated and the body slightly inclined, can help with digestion and the recovery of brain functions. The problem lies in lying completely horizontal and sleeping for long periods, right after a heavy meal. This disrupts the cardiovascular system and increases the risks already mentioned. And now a critical point that is often ignored: the temperature of the bath after eating. Taking a bath right after lunch or dinner, especially if it is a hot bath, can cause a sudden drop in blood pressure. This is because the heat dilates the blood vessels, while the digestive system is still demanding a lot from the body. The result: dizziness, falls, malaise, and, in extreme cases, sudden loss of consciousness. Ideally, you should wait at least 40 to 60 minutes before taking a bath, especially if you already have a history of low blood pressure. Another essential thing to be careful about is the food you eat for dinner. Heavy meals, rich in sodium and saturated fat, such as sausages, white pasta, and processed meats, increase inflammation levels in the body and worsen blood viscosity. This creates the perfect environment for the formation of clots and plaques. Always opt for options that soothe the body. Soups with vegetables, cooked vegetables, whole grains, olive oil, grilled fish, and chamomile or fennel teas. Additionally, avoid drinking alcohol immediately after meals, especially if combined with fatty foods. Alcohol alters blood pressure, affects blood viscosity, and can interfere with liver function at the exact moment the body is processing food. All of this combined creates a silent storm, ideal for a stroke to occur suddenly. Now, perhaps the most important tip of all: pay attention to your body's signals. A stroke does not usually come on suddenly without sending out small warnings first. And many of these signals appear right after meals, when the body is under physiological stress. Pay attention to unusual or severe headaches soon after eating, mild tingling in the face, arms, or legs, dizziness or feeling faint after eating, changes in speech, blurred vision, or difficulty thinking, sensation of pressure in the neck or around the eyes. If any of these symptoms appear, even if they seem temporary, seek medical attention immediately. Every minute counts. The good news is that your brain is an organ that responds incredibly well to good habits. And even if you've been making these mistakes for years, changing now can still make all the difference. Your brain is capable of regenerating itself, improving circulation, and recovering lost functions if you act early enough. So memorize this golden rule. After eating, don't lie down, don't smoke, don't disconnect completely. Move, breathe. Let your body digest intelligently. You fought hard to get here. Now it's time to take care to continue living with health, lucidity, and dignity. Small gestures save big stories, and your story is still being written. Tell me in the comments, have you ever done any of these things after eating? Subscribe for more videos with real tips on health, sexuality, and longevity. Like, share with those you love, and take care of what matters most, your life.